Hey there everybody, this is Patrick with SFMF Fishing, and this is like day 8, 9, 10, I don't know, every day is going on together for me of restriction. And what I mean by restriction is I live on a government property as a volunteer, and plus I also work on the property. Because this is my mailing address and living address also, I have to abide by government rules and policies, and I cannot go out and even enjoy fishing in the middle of a lake or go for a walk in a park. I am basically behind the gates, and hence when I say I'm on a restriction, that's what I mean. I'm not quarantined, I'm just restricted from leaving this campus. So when I need Copenhagen or Camel non-filters or Coca-Cola, I gotta have somebody else get it for me. It is what it is. So anyways, I'm going to, for every week I'm restricted from leaving, I'm gonna go ahead and do a what's in my box, what do I use for tackle video. So here's the first video, and it's basically top waters and unusuals. So let's dig into it. Okay, as you see, first you see I use mainly the Runsole boxes. I mean, I'll do a short video on why I use these boxes, but this is my box of choice, and I'll explain why in a different video. But first, let's just dig right into it. Let's get into the walking baits. Let me go ahead and open this box with one hand, all 4 of these. And you notice all my boxes I label, so I know what I'm digging for and I know what I'm looking for. I have a couple of these that are empty, and that's what I dig through and pick to throw in the kayak before I go out. So here are my spooks, my walking baits, whatever you want to call them. Here, let's make this child friendly, move those, and there you go. I think you guys all know from Monster Bass whose bait that is. And these are 6 cents mostly. That's a Storm. I really do like the Storm product. Storm makes really good brand. I am brand loyal, and I like their baits. That came in a 6 cents subscription bag, and as you know, this came in the Christie box. So that's my spook and my walking baits. And then when we come over to here, we got our frogs. Okay, I have you can honestly, I believe you can never have too many frogs. And this is my frog box. And if you really want to know what my favorite frogs are, you can basically tell by how beat up they are. This one right here is a Booyah Pad Crasher. This has seen a lot of miles. Here is its replacement right here. Once the miles get too far, I've got the same one right there, all ready to go. I really haven't fished this style of frog before. I got these because I'm not afraid to try new things, so I'm gonna try these. I got it in brown, and I got one in black. I've read the reviews on these, and these legs seem to want to pull out. That's no big deal. I think I might be able to go ahead and just stick trailers, you know, like these on it instead, and be done with it. Just a big knot, you know, no big deal. And then we have, I think you can remember this coming in the Monster Bass box last year. And this right here, my Z-Man popper. I threw this a lot last year. Matter of fact, got hit so many times, it can't even see where it's going anymore. The eyes got pulled out. But Z-Man makes an awesome, awesome popping frog. So it's you know, it's one of those things. If you happen to see one, buy one. They're a good frog. And I forget which box company this came from. I haven't caught anything on this yet, but I think you can tell I've thrown it quite a bit. Honestly, I actually just like the way it sounds going through the water. So sometimes I throw something just because I like the way it feels, I like the way it sounds, and it just, for me, peaceful. Then, let's see. We have our Whopper Plopper box. This is an awesome box. If you've never thrown a Whopper Plopper, maybe you should consider it this year. They are a great bait. And there you go. I started off with this one right here. It's actually not a river. This is the only one in here not a river to sea. This one right there. But I wanted to test the waters first on whether or not I really liked Whopper Ploppers, so I got those, actually a whole set of those. They were like wicked cheap, like $10. I really like the way they sound through the water and stuff like that. I didn't catch anything with the knockoff ones, but I really like the way they sound, so I moved up. I started getting these. I've got the one that, this is the 90. This is the 75. This is my all-time favorite size. This is the 110. This is the bone color, and this is awesome. Then we have the 130s, and then we're getting up to the big dogs. These are the 190s. You got to be brave to throw one of these. These are incredible, though. Make sure you have the proper equipment, because they are a heavy, heavy bait, but they do the job. River to sea, you can never go wrong with their equipment. It is just an awesome bait. So what we got next is, this is important. Let's see here. There we go. We got my swim baits. My swim baits. My swim jig, or whatever. I'm having a brain fart. Spinnerbaits. Thank you. These are my spinners. I got a spinner box for these, and all different colors, different sizes. The colors of the heads, to me, are more important than the overall colors. Well, except for, of course, the blades. But even the blades can be switched out. What can't be switched out on them is the head. So when you pick a spinnerbait, or a jig even, choose it for the head color, not so much the skirt color. And the reason being is because you can, look at these. Okay, look at all these. All these different colors. These are all different colors of skirts. So the color of the head is important, so you can change the skirt out to match the head for different waters. So if you've got, let's say, like this one right here, which is a great color, and I wouldn't change the skirt on this, but if I wanted to, I'd do an orange and and more than likely like a green pumpkin skirt on this, other than what came with it. And so for the really finicky, oh, and if you notice, I had that buzz bait. That's the only buzz bait I have. I really don't throw many buzz baits because you don't get the right action. I don't stand up in a kayak. I sit in a kayak because of my knees. So, but at least I have a buzz bait, and I really like this particular one with the ball. The ball does have a rattle in it. I've really not caught anything on it, but it feels cool. So throwing it and then reeling it through the water, the feeling is just awesome. And then I have my mini spinners. So yeah, I have different sizes, different shapes. There's different weights. I'm a person who likes to throw heavy, but hey, that's okay. All right. What else we're gonna do? All right. So we'll stick with the top water theme here, or within the top column, and we got my popper box. This is my favorite box. I love throwing poppers, and here we go. And I know you're going to look at those two right in the middle and say, hey, those aren't poppers. You're right. And you're going to look at those two spiders and say they're not poppers. And you're right. They are top water, though. This is a walking bait. And the spiders you use, it's incredible how you use a spider. Don't throw it like you normally would. Like I've seen people popping it or almost trying to walk it. No, just vibrate the end of your pole, okay, so it looks like this thing is trying to get some grip on the water. You'll get more bites that way, I promise. Right here are my 6 Sense poppers. I like them. I really love 6 Sense lures. Now I like the poppers, okay, don't get me wrong. They make a really cool popping noise. Here's my Megabass popper. That's pretty cool. It makes a wicked cool noise. Look at that paint job, dudes. Oh, my God. It is just incredible. But these right here are Monster Bass poppers. And these are my go-tos. When nothing else is working on top water and popping, I go to these. You can't go wrong. Honestly, I think Monster Bass probably has them underpriced. I think they should be a $10 bait. I would pay $10 a piece for them, but that's me. I know what they do. That's why I would pay that price. So if you haven't ventured to these poppers or used them, they're like $8 on the Monster Bass website in their store. Buy one for $8, give it a shot. You're gonna see it is phenomenal. Then what I have is my silent cranks. I'm a firm believer in silent crankbaits. The reason why is because sometimes you have to sneak up on the fish, and silent crankbaits are the way to do it. I have all different sizes and colors. My favorite is the Black Magic. They are by far the best color universally, but if you notice, I can just dig in here and boom, you know this one dives 3 to 7 feet. I write the because you know I'm getting old, so sometimes forgetting is a big part of everything. So this bone color right here is awesome, but everything has the depth on it. I mean, is just amazing. How these silent baits, if you haven't used them, it's like sneaking up on a fish. Instead of, if you're in a heavily fished area and people are throwing cranks all over the place, throw a silent. You're going to catch more fish. They will see that going without hearing that conditioned rattle, and that's why they'll strike, is because it's not a conditioned rattle where they'll be like, I know what that is. No, you're going to catch them by surprise. They're going to be forced to check it out, and they're going to use their hands, which is their mouth, to see what it is, and that's when you're going to catch the fish. So my next and last box for today is my other than the 6 cents but subscription box baits that I actually like. So here you go. Well, some of these I bought, like the little tiny cranks. I like them for the crappie. I love crappie fishing because there's something about them. They for little fish, they give a great fight. So yeah, these fishing lures, all of these are super awesome. And I just want to put a shout out. I don't know who made this. This was early in my years of buying baits, but this was the first crankbait I ever bought. Look at that purple. It is just sweet, isn't it? And it's kind of like a perch stripes on it, but translucent. It's a silent bait, and it's the first crankbait I ever bought, and I have caught fish on it. So just a shout out to whoever made this. I can't even remember the company. It's an awesome bait. So this is a silent one. This is a KVD silent bass color. I really haven't caught anything on it, but it looks cool, so that's why I keep it. I know, I go with looks too. So anyways, well, that's it. And I hope you got to see from what I have and everything else why I sometimes am a little nitpicky. So yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be. It may be the Marine in me, but you know, it's just who I am, I guess. But if I like something, I will use it. If I think it's going to work, I'm going to use it. And if it's a brand I know and trust, I'll at least give it a shot. But even if I look at it and say, no, I really do look at quality. And sometimes brand names do not have it straight on the mark. I mean, everybody is not 100% right with everything all the time. So, but with that said, you know, the major brands are major brands for a reason, and because they get it right more than 50% of the time. Just remember that. So make sure you tune in. I have, I think, 6 cents box coming in next week. I'll do another video of this if I'm still restricted, of some different other. I have way more boxes. So, and these boxes right here, I'm going to give 2 of them away in my next giveaway. And when that comes up close to when that's going to be, I will do a video on what you'll need to do. So stay tuned. But until my next video, okay, if you haven't heard from a veteran in a while, or actually, you know what, the way the world's going right now, if you haven't heard from a loved one in a while, and you want to make sure they're okay, give them a buddy check, okay? It's very important. in this crazy world right now. So until next time, peace out.